Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is a sunny Saturday afternoon, so I seem to be starting these videos earlier and earlier. Obviously I released them on a Friday, so please don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see the weekly updates, and of course we're going to try and do a few more reviews as we go through as well. But we are here on a Saturday afternoon, literally just gone 2 o'clock. And if you're familiar with last week's video, we discussed at the very end that we had a chap coming down from up north to have a look at the Range Rover SVO. Well, he had made that journey. He told me he had woken up at 2:30 this morning, hit the road by 3:30 and got to me at about 10 a.m. So it's a mega drive from him, but he says it's literally the only day that he could do it, and he really wanted to come and have a look at the car. Obviously very happy with it, decided to go through with the purchase, which is excellent news. I was very confident with that car anyway, because it is obviously, the SVO is a very special vehicle as it is, and the Range Rovers, he's had a Range Rover Sport, which I'll show you in just a moment, so he's familiar with the insides, etc. So yeah, turned up, we went through the finance paperwork once he was here, and made sure that all got paid out successfully, and then he was on his way back, which is good news. We've also had our customers come and collect their white Porsche Panamera, and again, familiar with the channel, you'll know that was very much a headache car, but it is now all done. It drives absolutely lovely, and they are over the moon to have their car back, and of course that then gives me my BMW 5 Series back. I think I'm going to keep it. I think for the money that it owes me and the level of car that it is and what it can do for me, it's worth keeping a hold of, which is really quite good. So we'll do that, and then honestly it's been raining all this morning, so really pleased that the sun has come out. And then we've got a very nice Range Rover that came in part exchange against the SVO, which I shall show you now. Grab a key. It had his personal plate on it, which has now been taken off, of course, so that's why it's got no number plate, but it is a 2018 registration Range Rover Sport HSE 3-litre SD V6, and it has only done 54,000 miles with its pretty good history. You can't quite call it full, unfortunately, but Sean, who we took this in part exchange from, he obviously likes his cars and he's looked after it very well, and it's been into Land Rover main dealer recently to have a load of work done, so I'm very comfortable and confident with the car. Obviously it's got a lovely spec being a HSE. Let's jump in. Ooh. It's a nice colour combination, but we've got heated wheel, lane assist, cruise control. It's not the adaptive, but we do have cruise control on there, of course, with the soft touch. Obviously it's the later 18 plate with the 2 screens, all in really nice condition, and we've also got a glass roof as well. Not an opening pan roof, but it does have the electric blind that goes across, but got all the auto lights and all the niceties that go with it, Meridian sound system, etc, etc. So we've got a black interior, and then a nice grey exterior with the black pack, and I really like these Range Rover alloys. They're one of my favourite styles that they do, so very pleased to have that. It's Pirelli Scorpion tyres all around, all a really good tread, and as I say, he's looked after it well. It was recently MOT'd with no advisories, got a lovely service history, so we've ordered the plates already for that to come through. I'll give it a quick clean this afternoon to get it advertised. Probably not today, probably run out of time, but we'll get it advertised early next week, and I don't think it'll hang around for too long, just because I think it's really good value. They've all become really good value these days. But yes, very pleased that he likes the SVO so much, which is excellent, and I hope he's enjoying his journey back, and I'll catch up with him early next week, and then of course I'll keep you in the loop with everything that goes on. So we're now at 10 to 6 on Monday evening. Did do any of the video yesterday, which is obviously Sunday, but we are now at Monday evening, which I was hoping would kind of be a bit of a get yourself together day, calm before the storm, but I can't complain because we have made a couple of sales, as I'll tell you about in just a minute. But what I have been doing is getting the Range Rover that was in part exchange against the SVO in a good condition to, of course, then be able to photograph and advertise it. So we've got a full set of the rubber mats, and they are the genuine Range Rover ones, and of course the full set, the carpet mats as well. So going through and cleaning all of those. The rubber mats still need to be cleaned, but the inside is coming up really well, as you would expect. Still needs to clean on the outside, and I'm still waiting on the registration number plates but obviously I only ordered them on the Saturday, so I'm anticipating they'll most likely be here tomorrow. But it has cleaned up ever so well inside here. So another good bit of stock. I think the colour is going to really help. The spec is always quite good on the HSE as well. And as I say, those alloys I genuinely think are some of the better alloys to have on a Range Rover. Eddie also loves a bit of a Range Rover as well. He likes getting into the boot of them. But yeah, so that's been pretty good. We also had a customer drop off their car this afternoon. It was a 2017 66 plate Range Rover that they purchased us end of last year. So they dropped into us to have an oil change and also a slight knocking on the back to be investigated. So we got that down to the workshops this afternoon. So they've got left first thing tomorrow. And then if I take you outside, one of the sales, which is absolutely confirmed because they've been in, they've seen it, they've test driven it and they really like it, is the Porsche Panamera, the silver one that I purchased last weekend. So really good news that we haven't had that for very long. They're nice and local. Got an Audi Q5 to part exchange in with us. So 2009 with 142,000 miles, but it's nice spec because it's the 3-litre TDI V6, but they've decided to go into this Porsche Panamera. Obviously showed them all of the paperwork and everything as we normally would, so they're really happy with that, which is good. So we're going to get that one serviced and MOT'd. They're just waiting to move some monies out, so about a week or so, but we'll get that into the plans on what is already quite a busy week. And then the other one is this one here, the Jaguar XF Sport Brake. They actually completed a finance application online, of which you went through for an auto acceptance. So I got in touch with them and said, you know, great news, thank you for the inquiry on the Jaguar. Your finance application has been accepted. And then the conversation kind of got on from there to try and work out the logistics, because they're quite a distance away. And they're asking questions of how to go about signing the finance, etc. We can do it as an e-link type thing, but I always prefer to have people come into the showroom, make sure they're happy with the car first before we start going through all the finance side of it. The finance side of it will only take about 10 minutes or so once they're in the showroom, maybe 20 minutes at a push, but it's all relatively straightforward these days with the Nissan. So rather than having to unwind a deal because they didn't like the car, it's just far easier. We don't start that until they are happy with the car itself. So as I say, we'll kind of work the logistics as we normally do with a distance sale car, is make sure that we have a deposit on the vehicle to reserve it, put it through the workshop, service it, MOT it. So they've only got to make the journey once. And then if they like it, they drive the car away. If they don't, for whatever reason, then they get their deposit back. We do it with everything. Because there's no point in doing it any other way. So yeah, pretty productive Monday, but Tuesday is going to be another day. Well, it's going to be a big push day really, because we've got the Disco 4, which is the sold one down at the end there. We've got to deliver that to our customers down in Cornwall, and at the same time we've also got someone who bought a Discovery Sport from us, I'd say about 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. They're bringing that back in, and we're doing a gearbox flush on that. So we've got to get that across to Totnes Cross workshops. And then obviously we've got to do that before we then head over to Cornwall in the Disco 4 to bring back their Isuzu D-Max in part exchange. And then we've also been offered a couple of cars today, and I'm just going to think about it overnight as to which one I decide to go for. It's either a Land Rover Discovery 5 with the SI6, which is a inline 3-litre petrol engine, which are actually really good news. We've had those before, or a BMW X5 with a really lovely specification, metallic grey with the ivory leather, heads-up display, pan roof and all of that. So I'll have a more involved look at them tonight, and we'll decide which one we go for, and I'll obviously show you when I get it. So yeah, that's Monday kind of wrapped up. We'll pick up in the morning. We're going to be heading up pretty early doors to either drop the Disco Sport over to the workshops or getting into that Disco to take to our customers, but we'll catch up in the morning. So here we are, nice and early on a Tuesday morning. I'm just about to make my way down to Cornwall in the Discovery for my customers, of course, and then bring back their part exchange, the pickup truck. And my customers have already been in to drop off the Land Rover Discovery Sport, which we've got coming in for the gearbox flush and the oil change, of course. So Sophie's going to take that over to Totnes Cross when she gets in, and then I'll be probably 2.5 hours, I'd say, probably delivering that. So yeah, it's a bit of a long journey, but something that we've offered to do, so we're going to do it. But we'll catch up shortly when I've got the part exchange.
Good morning, happy Tuesday. It is about 11:30 now, and obviously James is on his little road trip down to Cornwall to deliver that Discovery. So this morning I have been kind of here, there and everywhere. I've dropped the Discovery Sport over to Totnes Cross Garage, so that one can have its gearbox service. So hopefully that sorts out the slight juddering that it's got going on. They've given me a lovely Honda Jazz to drive back here into, so that was really, really nice of them. I've also taken the Range Rover Sport, the one with the lovely pearlescent blue paint on it, over to the alloy guy so he can refurb those alloys. So we're going to go diamond cut, keep them black as they were originally. They weren't that bad, to be honest, but just on the rims they've got a bit of curb rash, so I wanted to get that sorted before obviously it goes out. And obviously if anyone wants to come and view it, then it's kind of ready to go and it's perfect, nothing needs doing on it. We did actually have that slot booked for the SVO. James has probably told you, but we actually sold that one on Saturday, so that was really, really good news. But we like to keep our slots, you know, don't let people down, so we've taken the blue one over instead. The part exchange against that SVO needs a good old clean. I know James probably makes out that he does all the car cleans. He doesn't. I do them, get no credit, so here I am giving myself the credit. So I'm going to give that one a good old clean. The boys are just having their mid-morning treats. And I'm just about to make myself a coffee, so I'll catch you later.
So it is now about 11:20. I left my customer's house just after 11. Obviously they're very, very happy with their Land Rover Discovery 4. They've already seen it previously, but of course I agreed to deliver it down to them. I am deep down in Cornwall, near Penzance, and wasn't necessarily anticipating the drive to be quite as long as it was. So it's about 2.5 hours or so for me to get there. But this is what I've taken in part exchange, and he's owned this since from brand new, but it is kind of typical of a farm truck, so to speak. So I'll show you a little bit about it. As you can see, we are already missing a bit of the top of the grille. Needs a smart repair and some paint on this side. We're missing a side step from this side. It's typical of the Isuzus. Unfortunately, they do start to lose a bit of paint around the windscreen bit, so we're missing some paint there, missing some paint at the top there as well. Got the side step on this side. And then a bit of a scuff, obviously, just here. Mechanically, really quite sound, though. Tyres are all really good. He's owned it from brand new, as I've mentioned, and he also kept it serviced with Isuzu every year. So the service history is really good. One owner, only done 83,000 miles, literally just clicked over on 83,000 miles. So yeah, it'd be a good truck for someone, but obviously it needs a fair bit of cosmetic prep. I do have a couple of traders in mind, because of course I do need to find a home for it. It's not something that we're going to be going on with ourselves, and on paper it's a lovely truck, but I have given well under cap for it. I paid £6,500 and there is no VAT element for it, so £6,500 for a truck like that. There's plenty of margin left in it for the trader, whoever has it next, to then obviously sort those issues out to go on with themselves. It's just not something that we're necessarily going to get involved with. But as I say, I've now got a long drive back to the showroom. Had a few phone calls and bits this morning trying to sort things out whilst on the move. So obviously managed to get the Disco Sport over to Totnes Cross, and then the Range Rover over to Tony to get some alloys refurbished. And yeah, been talking to customers and bits on the way down. I'll show you the inside as well. As I say, it's very typical of a Cornish truck, this. Dust everywhere, but had seat covers on it its whole life, so underneath this should all be okay, although it does look a bit dirty. And then again in the back there as well. So typical of a pickup truck down in the depths of Cornwall. I mean, there is literally dust everywhere and mud, but it's a workhorse, isn't it? That's kind of what they're designed for. But yeah, I'll get back in this. We'll catch up at the showroom. It's now early Wednesday morning, so made it back yesterday from the depths of Cornwall in the Isuzu. It was a little bit choked up, really. I think the old boy that had it was obviously doing very short journeys within Cornwall lanes, never really managed to stretch his legs much. So yeah, just a little bit spluttery as we got going, but once it cleared through, it drove an absolute dream. So yeah, it's a rough and ready pickup truck. I've offered it to a couple of traders, one of which is going to let me know this morning, seems to think he's got someone in mind for it. And to be honest with you, mechanically it really is sound, drove nice and true, no real issues or anything like that. They're a bit choked up, so probably could have done with the run coming back from Cornwall, to be honest. So yeah, good news, obviously made it back, that's always good news. And then once we got back, we then shot straight over to the workshops to collect the Land Rover, the Disco Sport, which was in for the gearbox flush. So that's all done, nice and easy. Alloys have also been done over at Torbay Powder Coats. Tony's done those and he's done a cracking job as always. We haven't collected it yet, but we'll get that later this morning. But the reason I'm in early again is if you're familiar with the channel, you'll of course know about the Range Rover Evoque, of which my chap in Bournemouth had bought from us, and then went to the garage over in Bournemouth, of which unfortunately started to charge me what I deemed to be too much money for the stuff that they were doing. So we had to then take the reins again, take more control of the scenario. What I'm going to do this morning is actually, he's very, very kindly offered to meet me part way on the journey, which is very kind of him to do so, because he didn't have to by any means. But it does actually save me an awful lot of time in getting it back. Takes just over an hour off my journey round trip. So really appreciate that. So I'm going to head off in the courtesy car in just a moment. So he's going to have that one for a couple of days whilst we get his Range Rover back straight into the workshops, having the new ride height sensor, the new rear shock and a couple of other things to look at before it then goes over to Paynton tomorrow to have the undersealing done. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on that one there. And then I've also got two very nice bits of stock to collect. I'm hoping to get one later today, depending on how time goes. But if not one today, then definitely both tomorrow. So stay tuned to see what they are, because I really am excited about those. I'm hoping that we can use the pickup truck at the end there, because that's one of the traders that are getting back to me this morning, who I'm buying these other two from. So it'd be really handy if I could use that as a runner over there to bring at least one back, if not two, if Soph comes with me. But let's get set up, we'll get onto the road, head towards Dorchester, nice and early, let's get it done. So I'm now back from Dorchester in my customer's Range Rover Evoque. So I'm going to get that down to the workshop shortly. Also stopped off at Brookwells, which of course are the Land Rover part specialist over in Bovey Tracy there, to get some transmission fluid. So he wants that changed as well, which is not a problem. We'll get that sorted for him too whilst we have the car. And then lots of phone calls and lots of different customers, etc. But on the way, rang through to Nick, who's the chap who I'm picking up two cars from. And he's decided that he is going to go with the Isuzu that we took in part exchange against the Land Rover Discovery 4. So the plan now for this afternoon is to get the Evoque down to the workshops whilst we take the Isuzu, because we can then go from the workshops over to Nick's place, pick up the two cars because they're now both there, which worked out timing wells really well, and we'll bring both of them back. I'm very excited to show you because I think they're really good cars, both of them. I think they're really good cars. One of them requires more prep than the other. The only thing I'm still waiting for, annoyingly, are the plates for the Range Rover there. Not that I've been able to get too close to it anyway. Internally, it's all clean and ready to be photographed and advertised, but obviously want the plates before I do it. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really had time. We're now obviously into Wednesday afternoon, and I took it in part exchange on Saturday morning. So bit frustrating to have such a lovely car that no one even knows about at this point. But we will get the plates through. Hopefully they'll turn up today. We'll get it outside. We'll clean that one externally to then be able to advertise it. But as I say, we've done so many miles this week and lots of running around. We've not even got close to advertising it yet. And then of course we're picking up two new bits of stock, but you can't say no to them when they arrive or when they're offered to you. So really nice bits of stock. Looking forward to showing you what they are. So yeah, that's the afternoon plan. Get those two back here, give you a good walk around on those, then start the cleaning process. on the externals of that. Hopefully the plates would arrive so we can advertise it, and then of course start the prep and the process on the 2 new bits of stock. So yeah, stick around, you'll see them. So here we have 2 very Condor cars, as I like to call them. Great bits of stock, very excited to have them in. I'll show you a little bit about them. So the first one here is a BMW X5. It's a 64 plate, but the great news about these BMs is they are ULEZ compliant, so it is a Euro 6 engine. Only had 2 owners from new and done 75,000 miles with a lovely service history. It's an SE specification, and I've had a few of the X5s with the SE specification before. I really don't mind them. I still think they look great because some of the models look a little bit flat, if you like, if they don't have the M Sport bits. But the SE looks fantastic. It's got the side steps, alloys in desperate need of a refurbishment. They are a diamond cut on the edge, but I won't do the diamond cut. I'll just get them painted, and I'll get them painted in the silver. Also has the chrome trims with the chrome roof rails as part of the SE spec, but it's got quite a few additional extras on there as well, which I'm quite excited about. Another bit of prep is this bit down here on the front bumper. It's obviously hit something down there. All just needs straightening out and clicking back in. A little bit of a hedge rash down on the side here, so we'll get that polished up at the same time. But yeah, tyres are really good. They're proper Bridgestone kind of all-weather tyres that are on there, which we'll keep on. But the alloy's in desperate need of a refurbishment, in desperate need of a good valet as well. It's pretty dirty all round. A little bit on the rear bumper as well, which I'll get done at the same time as the front bumper. So this is one of those ones where mechanically all looking really well, but just needs a little bit of love to get it back to our standards. But I drove it back. This is the one that I drove. Soph drove the other one, which I'll show you in a sec, and it drove absolutely lovely. As I say, also got really good specification. Got keyless entry and keyless start, so the key's in my pocket. Space grey on the exterior with the ivory leather interior. Opening pan roof as well, which is nice. Power fold mirrors, electric tailgate. Also got the heads-up display, which is what you can see there. So it displays the info. Got the Pro Nav, heated seats. Also got to order one of these as well. Notice as I was parking up that the parking button needs doing. That's quite an easy job by all accounts to replace that one there. So we'll get that done. But yeah, really pleased with the bit of stock. 2 owners from new, 75,000 miles. With, as I say, a lovely history. Really good specification all throughout, and a great colour combo as well. So one of my favourites to have the ivory. So yeah, really pleased with that. Proper good value these days as well for a ULEZ compliant car. I think it's going to be something like 16,995, and it's got the 360 cameras as well, so you can see one of the cameras there, and then the cameras sit underneath the wing mirrors too. And then this one I'm also very excited about. We've had one of these with the engine variants before. This is a Land Rover Discovery 5 HSE Luxury, one of the earlier ones because it's on the 17 plate. That was the year that it was introduced. But it's also the SI6 engine, which is a 3-litre straight 6 petrol. A bit of a rarity, to be fair. Got the Pirelli Scorpion tyres all around. All of decent tread. The alloys aren't in bad condition at all, which is always nice. This one doesn't need half as much prep as what the BM does, but it does need a very good clean and a good polish down the sides as well, as it does with most Land Rovers that are living within the local area. It's only done 59,000 miles, or very top end of 59,000 miles, so let's call it 60,000 miles. And again, this one's only 2 owners from new with a full Land Rover history, so that's really quite nice. Keyless entry again. And it's also got the rear entertainment screens with the wireless headphones, rear heated seats, rear climate control, panoramic roof, or the 2 opening sunroofs at the top there as well. And of course, they are the 7-seaters, being the Disco 5. And the HSE Luxury does come really well spec'd. Meridian sound system, heated wheel, cruise control, obviously all the later screens, etc. So Soph drove this one back, said it was really nice. Black with this just like nice light piping, which is always nice. And also a mark of the HSE Luxuries, because a lot of them have that as standard with the piping and a nice wood trim finish, etc. So yeah, only done, as I say, 59,971, so call it 60,000 miles. And Soph said it drives really well. The petrols are really good news. I think a lot of people are heading towards the petrol side of things, especially if you're not doing a massive amount of miles. You haven't got to worry about any kind of AdBlue or DPF issues or anything like that.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Apologies, slight interruption earlier, with lots more running around to do this afternoon. The Range Rover Sport, my customers that came in for an oil change and the suspension arm's all been done, so we dropped that back over to them. They were over in Newton Abbot. But yeah, very, very pleased with the new bits of stock. I've also messaged a couple of people that I use for prep. So we've got the Smart Repairer, sent them across a few pictures to see when he can book that one in for. And again, on that BMW X5, we're going to get the alloys done. So I've asked when they can get that in. But we've also, this afternoon, had the plates turn up for this Range Rover Sport, finally. It's the oblong rear oversized plate that we wait for, because they don't get made on site. So they have to, I think they genuinely get them like posted out to them. So we're going to get that onto here and then have a bit of a shift around on the cars on the forecourt to ensure that this one's outside first thing tomorrow morning to get it cleaned for photographing, because it is already 5:30 on the Wednesday. Time is absolutely flying by this week. I think it's because I've just been doing so much travelling, obviously down to Helston yesterday, over to Bridport this morning. Well, Dorchester, so past Bridport, over to Dorchester this morning, and then obviously the return journeys take just as long, and then obviously lots of running around making sure those then go down to the workshop. Nick seemed happy with the pickup truck, the Isuzu. I always almost a little bit over descriptive with the part exchanges. I sent him all of the pictures of the imperfections, saying that this is what it is, it's a rough and ready truck. So obviously there were no surprises when we dropped it off. But mechanically, genuinely, it was all sound, so that's all good. So yeah, we're going to get the plates onto the range, have a bit of a swap around or move around of the cars outside. So that this one's outside, we'll bring those two in so that we can get started on the interior cleans in the morning. But we've got more running around to do tomorrow morning. We're getting the Evoque over to have the undersealing done, but that's had its shock this afternoon. It's had the ride height sensor, had a couple of other things looked at as well, with a turbo seal pipe on the return seal of that, because that was starting to blow a little bit, so replaced that. And what else was it? There's a couple of other bits that we've done. Oh, heat shield. Had to re-secure a heat shield before it goes over to obviously be sealed tomorrow, so that's all progressing in the right way. But yeah, we'll move some things about. And a slight change of plan. So Tony, who does our alloys for us, he's going away on holiday for Friday afternoon actually. So when I messaged him about the BMW X5, I said, can I just book him in? You know, didn't know he was going away on holiday. He goes, well, I'm actually going away on Friday, so if you can get it to me for first thing tomorrow, then I can crack on with it first thing to then get it over get it finished for us on a Friday. So I thought, oh, you diamond, that is absolutely excellent, because that means that it then doesn't have the delay knock-on effect for us. Obviously you should go on holiday, but it means that we don't get that delay, and we can get the car prepped quicker. So we swapped it for our Range Rover, which I mentioned Sophie had dropped over to get the alloys refurbished, and he always does such an excellent job. So these are obviously diamond cut finish on the face of them, and then obviously powder coats the inside of them as well. So yeah, they're looking really, really smart. So really pleased, he did such an excellent job. So whilst I was moving the cars just around then, Sophie's obviously ran over to swap it with the X5 with this one here. So he's got the X5 for first thing, purely because we've got to get the Range Rover over for the undersealing first thing, and obviously I can't be in two places at once. So we've done it this evening. It's now 6:15. I'm going to move this one over to the side to bring another car on, and then tidy everything up to then head home. So we'll catch up in the morning. It is now 28 minutes past 12 on a Thursday, so literally just into the early afternoon. Bit of a run around this morning. Soph's taken the Porsche Panamera over to the workshop so they can get serviced and MOT'd, ready for collection tomorrow. We also took the Range Rover Evoque from the workshops, of which Matt stayed late last night, very late in fact, to get those side steps fitted. Which is great news, because obviously he knew that we needed it for the undersealing this morning, so really appreciate him doing that. So we should hopefully be able to collect that tomorrow morning. So that will look really good underneath. I'll try and get some images of that once that's all done. And then, so now we're back at the showroom. So he's been cleaning the Land Rover Discovery that we collected from Nick yesterday. We reckon it's been recently valeted. only because it's all in pretty good condition, and also things like the door seals are already clean. They're always the bits that people seem to forget when washing the carpet if it's been valeted, and this one looks like it has been. It's looking quite clean, so yeah, not looking bad in here at all. Just a few more bits to do. So I'm now going to move a load of cars around on the outside, clean the Range Rover, because obviously we've had that since Saturday and it's now Thursday and it's still not advertised. Just because obviously we've been doing so many miles, so much running around. I also appreciate this video has been a lot of focus just on me telling you what's going on rather than being able to show you what's going on, but it has just been so busy. I've not had much of an opportunity to get that, but I will get better at doing those type of things for the video. So yeah, we're going to clear the space, clean the Range Rover, get it photographed and advertised. Everything's kind of moving as it should, but we're running out of time. There's not enough hours in the day sometimes. But yeah, hopefully the plan is to get both this Range Rover and also this Discovery cleaned and advertised, ready by the end of play today. But we'll see how we get on, I suppose. But we'll catch up in a bit. My GoPro ran out of battery just at the end, but it turned into a race against time because it started absolutely lashing it down whilst I was outside taking the photos. So managed to get them all done literally in the nick of time. I think a couple of the photos are going to show a few rain droplets, and it looks to be just a really heavy passing shower. So I'm hoping it doesn't stick around for too long. It is still currently raining, but the plan is, of course, this one's all done on the interior. Is to do the same with the Discovery, but whether we're fortunate enough to be able to do that today or not, I don't know. It might be one for tomorrow because the weather's looking really quite good for tomorrow, but I'd like to get it done today. The alloy wheels for the BMW X5 should also be done this afternoon, so looking forward to picking that up. And then I'm dropping it over to Get Smart, which are in Stoke Gabriel. They're going to have it for tomorrow. I probably won't see that again until early next week, just because, albeit there's nothing really quite serious on any of it, but there is quite just a few odd jobs to do on it, and it's going to take them a few hours. So I imagine I'll probably get that back early next week, but again, still progressing on that there. Sophie's also going back over to Totnes Cross now because the Porsche Panamera's had its service, its MOT, no advisories on that, so that's all good. It is the last day of the month. It is literally the 31st today. So I think my customer's plan is to drop their part exchange to us because they're only down the road, drop their part exchange to us so that they don't have to then, so we can cancel the tax on that, and then pick the Porsche up tomorrow to start the new year on the 1st. It's a very tax efficient way. People tend to do that quite often. So yeah, I think that's the plan. So we're going to get the X5 shortly. If it doesn't clear up, we'll have to clean this one and photograph it tomorrow, which isn't the end of the world, but I would like to have got it done today. And then once the X5 is back, we can then start to clean the Porsche inside to make sure that's ready for handover tomorrow. But it is absolutely lashing it down, so I think I'm going to have to put my coat on with a hood or my hat to protect my hearing aids and put all the cars back, because obviously it's not going to stay like that. But yeah, real shame really, because we'd like to get that one done as well. It's looking really clean on the inside, but just obviously still needs a really good clean on the outside. Might even get the polisher out, but again, should really be clean before I polish it. So we've got nice fresh paintwork to do it with. But yeah, that's the update on the Thursday afternoon so far. Looks like a little bit of patience has paid off, because it is now relatively sunny. Obviously, I said I was going to put all the cars back. I was probably just sulking that it was raining, to be honest with you. But it passed through quite quickly. So we are going to move a few cars around. I'm going to get the sold Porsche Panamera, because that's now back from Totnes Cross, into the showroom so that Soph can start cleaning that on the inside, and then bring the Discovery out of the showroom to give that a wash, dry it all off, and get it all photographed today. So the plan is still on. The only thing we can't do as it is now 4:15. We will run out of time. It's going to collect the X5, but it's okay, it can stay there overnight, and then we'll pick it up in the morning, take it straight over to Get Smart to get the smart repairs carried out. So back onto the original plan, which is good news. But the Range Rover is all advertised and on Auto Trader or on our website, everything like that, looking really quite smart. But yes, that's the plan of action going forward. Got caught out of the rain, spoke too soon, but it looks like it's holding off for a minute. But this is the importance of jacking up the car on the air suspension each time you wash it, because that is just thick mud. So we're going to get all of that out, obviously. Let's give it a proper good valet. I think if we go quick enough, might just be able to beat the rain. And I'm going to have to be quick, get a cover plate, get the camera, let's get it done. Gosh darn it. This is 10 seconds later. Ah, wishful thinking. Never mind. I might even, to be fair, with the Panamera going out in the morning, bit of running around with the X3, get it into the showroom, give it a polish, and then photograph it. Don't rush anything. But we will catch up in the morning. It's 5:30 now. Take me a few minutes to get the forecourt back together. I'll write the advert for it tonight, polish it tomorrow, and then I'll also show you the X5 because I'm looking forward to seeing how the alloys done. I think that'll look so much better already, and then get it across the job. Catch up in the morning. So here we are, a lovely sunny Friday. So gonna have better luck, obviously, getting the photographs done. Not gonna waste my time blow drying the car, but we are actually over at Tony's unit. Tony's unit's the one at the end there, of which he does the alloy refurbishments for me. He's done the X5. And they are looking so much better. We are going to get some new centre caps. They're not horrific, but they're worth doing. But look at the alloys. He always does such a fantastic job. So if you are local to the area, I always push him with any customers because these things happen. You might curb them and whatnot, but definitely worth doing. Tyres are all really good. It transforms the car when they've got good alloys. Obviously, we've got to get it to John next to do the next few bits. He'll have that over the weekend, but I just wanted to show the alloys. Definitely worth doing. We'll get some new centre caps just to finish him off nicely, but he's just, yeah, I mean, he's the best that I've used, and I've used a fair few, and fortunately he's local to me, so yeah, that's really handy. But yeah, we'll get this over to John, and then I'll pick up with you in the showroom where we're going to get the Discovery into it to then do the polishing down the side. Yeah, we'll catch up then. So we're now back at the showroom. It is 11:15. I've had a couple of customers in already, one of which was Kobe, and Kobe's a subscriber to the channel, so good to see you, mate. And we're absolutely going to try and find a Range Rover for him. He's given us the parameters, so we do that quite often, especially with Range Rovers where people are looking for something in particular. So we're trying our very hardest to accommodate with him and get a Range Rover sorted. The Panamera is now outside the showroom, so we're going to give that a good wash so it's ready for its handover later today. And then I've cleared the space for the photographs. Obviously the weather's looking a bit better for today, and we've got the Discovery inside. So what I'm going to do now is set up to do the polishing on that. Obviously we've got to do 2 stages. So we do the if you're familiar with the channel, we have almost like a harsh cut and a fine cut, but we've got to go over it twice, do one of each, to make sure that it's absolutely what it needs to be. So I'm going to get on with that now. We'll probably have the handover at some point during the middle of that, and then we'll get on with photographing it, and then I've got to get on with editing all of this video so it releases tonight. But a pretty good Friday. Really happy with those 2 bits of stock that we got this week. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. The numbers are growing, but let's get this Discovery polished. That's one side and the rear done, but I'm trying to show you just how bad it is on the paintwork and why it desperately needs a polish. Black paint is always a little bit more difficult to keep clean, but we'll get it done. Already looking loads better just with the first cut, leaving a little bit of haziness. You see it just here, there's a little bit of haziness, harder to pick up on the camera. Haziness up here as well, it looks good, but in comparison to this door, you can literally see between the two. So I've got to go over, do all of this and then do all of this again in the finer cut to get rid of the haziness, but it is absolutely worth doing. It's really quite hard to do though. It's quite warm, sweaty work. You have to keep working it over and over and put a bit of pressure, but not too much pressure that you're going to ruin the paint. So yeah, it's a lengthy process, which is why obviously valeters are very, very good at what they do, charge the money that they do, but transforms the car. So we'll keep going. It's going to be another couple of hours yet. We have made it. It is Friday afternoon stroke evening actually. We're actually getting later into the day. I would have normally uploaded this video by now, but it is coming up 20 to 6 on the Friday. Managed to get the Land Rover all polished and it's now looking absolutely excellent. It's like a mirror finish. The black paint work is ever so good to work with. A little bit more tedious getting it right, but once it is right, it looks fantastic. So yeah, really, really pleased with how it looks. No haziness or anything, because of course I've been over it twice, the second time with that lighter polish, but the paintwork looks absolutely excellent, miles better than what it was. So that's now all photographed and obviously got the walk around video on there as well. So I've got to do the advert for that tonight and get that uploaded. And we've also been across to pick up my customer's Range Rover Evoque, which has now had the undersealing completed. Sent a few pictures over to him, he's really happy. We also fitted some side steps to it. I can't remember whether I mentioned that or not. So he supplied the side steps and we said, well, whilst we've got it in the workshop, we're absolutely happy to get those fitted. A little fiddly, but they look absolutely excellent. So that's really good news on that front. Sophie, fortunately, has been editing this video all afternoon. So I think that's definitely worth a hit of the old subscribe button if you don't mind. And of course, if you like the video, please continue to like them. But we're going to continue working on, and hopefully it won't be too long before you're watching this video. But thank you ever so much for sticking around, really do appreciate it. And of course, we hope to see you for the next one and that you have a good weekend. And as I say, I will get better at doing the video bits for the actual work being carried out. So I've actually spoken with Tony over at the alloy place, who we're going to get some camera set up over at his, and he's obviously going to be allowed to use that footage as well, but just to see how the wheel refurbs are done, and I'll get some more mechanical bits done down at the workshop as well. But yeah, really hope you're enjoying the content. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you for the next one. Thank you.